Hi everyone, I'm Jonah. I'm an intuitive embodiment coach, and my work's about remembering who you are and trusting your inner knowing. Welcome to Wandered Mindset, New Earth Remembering. Today I want to discuss how relationships look like in the New Earth frequency. It's very important that we no longer abandon ourselves when it comes to relationship. There's a lot of negative energy when we're in a relationship and we want to abandon ourselves for a moment, or not just a moment, most of the time, because we're thinking by abandoning ourselves that there might come a time that our partner would recognize and would realize what an amazing person we are, that they're going to be able to change their ways. And so when we're in that way of thinking, that's even a very dangerous frequency, because now we're putting a condition that, and we're having that expectation. And when that expectation is not being met, that really would make us very resentful, very upset, very unloved in our energy, just because we're putting that condition without the other person even knowing what we're trying to do. And they will never realize or recognize that, because it is really within when this transformation happens. It's not because you get inspired and you get inspired by the energy of being loved, but we've also been in a situation where you're very loving and you feel like you're being taken advantage of, because that other person is so used to you catering to them. And when the other person is so used for you to catering to them, then they also tend to forget what your needs are, because for them, without an open communication, they're thinking this is just how things are. And if we're not able to communicate things that we would like to happen for us, and not just communicate things, to be able to put yourself in an energy of these are the things that makes me happy. These are the things that happens so I would feel that I'm not abandoning myself. If you're very much aware on how you love yourself and the idea of you of being loved, and you're expecting that from yourself and not from anybody else, and not from the people that you have relationships with, whether it's a, it's a marriage or it's a business partnership, whatever kind of relationship that is. You always have, in the new earth frequency, you have to know and you have to be aware of the things that, how you want to be treated. And not just being aware, you actually become that person that needs to be treated that way. In this life, everything is energy. So if you're showing up and you know that you're not going to tolerate something less of what you want in life and how you're being treated, then your energy is going to attract people that would want to treat you that way. But the key is really wanting that and knowing that from yourself. Because we always tend to think people would know what it is that we expect from them or what we want from them. But your energy is not going to align until you know what that is for you. So the key is really focusing on you, on your relationship with yourself. Because if you yourself don't know what it would feel like to be, for someone to be madly in love with you, it would be very hard to recognize what that would be when another human being is showing that to you. So animals are really good at this because animals, they just show up with their unconditional love. So if you are a very loving person, and we all are, and if you just remember that about yourself, you're going to be in awe of their frequency right away. And so for animal lovers out there, it's amazing because once you have this, the animals around you, you could already sense this alignment in you because you're sharing that experience with them. But with us humans, if we haven't really connected with ourselves, if we don't know how it really feels like, because we haven't really loved ourselves the way that we want to love ourselves, and just, if we're focused on just the things that are happening in life, if we're focused on every past relationship that has broken our heart, if that's all we know, and we haven't had a chance to have this honest conversation with ourselves on what we have learned from those and why were they in our life. So if we're never aware of that, if we don't have an understanding and acceptance and a way of forgiving ourselves, if that was really, really painful, if we're not in that space yet, it's really difficult to see yourself in a frequency of the new earth. Because in order for us to embody something, to be in alignment in something, in love, we should feel that to ourselves first. And so I'm encouraging everybody, when you're wanting to be loved, if you really want this romantic relationship, and if it is your soul's longing and you feel like you were placed in this earth to find your soulmate or find someone that really connects with you, please know that no one can ever complete you unless you feel complete yourself. So that is really the right way of looking at things to be in alignment, is to focus on the relationship with yourself and really get to know yourself. Because once you do, that love, it's amazing. Once you really have fallen in love with yourself, it's no one can take that away from you. No one can make you feel differently. So I would really urge for you to, someone who's listening to this right now, I know that you are here for a reason, and you are probably wanting to feel love in your heart, and you haven't found, you know, the man of your dreams or the woman of your dreams or the business partner of your dreams. Know that that person is already in the doorway, is just waiting for you to receive that person, to receive that blessing. And once your energy aligns to that blessing, it's it's going to be a wonderful experience. And you're going to realize that, all of the painful stuff that have happened are such a blessing as well, because now we're recognizing, that magic that just happened and finding that true love, because being able to experience that in this life is really worth all the pains that you have endured throughout this time that you're finding the right person for you. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Till next time, and let's all go back to our heart and lead with our soul.